Your body thinks it's still living in the worst year of your life, and until you understand this, you'll never fully heal your nervous system. Here's what I mean. Right now, as you're watching this, you're probably safe. You're not being chased. No one is attacking you. You're not starving. Yet your body feels like something terrible is about to happen. Your shoulders are tight. Your jaw is clenched. Your mind is racing through worst-case scenarios. Why? Because your nervous system is running on old programming. It's operating from a threat that no longer exists. And this is the piece that nobody talks about when it comes to nervous system healing. Most advice tells you to breathe deeper, shake your body, or take cold showers. And sure, those things can help in the moment, but they're not addressing the real problem. The real problem is that your nervous system has outdated information. It's like running a brand new phone on software from 2008. The hardware is fine. The problem is the programming. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to update it. Let me explain how this actually works. Your nervous system is essentially your body's security system, and just like a home security system, it's constantly scanning for threats. Is the door locked? Did I hear a noise? Is someone breaking in? Except your nervous system isn't just scanning for physical threats, it's scanning for emotional ones too. Rejection, failure, abandonment, humiliation. And here's the kicker. Once your nervous system identifies something as a threat, it remembers forever. Think about it like this. Let's say when you were 12 years old, you raised your hand in class super excited to answer a question, and when you gave your answer, everyone laughed at you. The teacher corrected you harshly. You felt humiliated. In that moment, your nervous system took a snapshot. It created a file that said speaking up equals danger. Fast forward 20 years. You're in a meeting at work. Your boss asks for ideas. You have a great one, but suddenly your heart starts pounding. Your palms get sweaty. Your mind goes blank. You say nothing. Why? Because your nervous system just pulled up that file from when you were 12. It's screaming, danger, danger, danger. Even though you're not 12 anymore. Even though this is a completely different situation, your body doesn't know that. This is what I call the time lag problem. Your nervous system is reacting to a threat from the past as if it's happening right now, and this is happening to you constantly. Every time you check your bank account and feel panic, that's old programming. Every time you want to rest but feel guilty, that's old programming. Every time someone gives you feedback and you spiral into shame, that's old programming. Your body is living in a reality that no longer exists. So how do we fix this? How do we update the software? Well, here's what won't work. You can't just tell yourself it's fine. You can't think your way out of this. Because this isn't happening in your logical brain. This is happening in your body, in your subconscious. In the deep, primitive parts of your brain that don't speak English, they speak in sensations, in experiences, in repetition. Here's what actually works. You have to give your nervous system new data. You have to show it proof that the old threat is gone. And you have to do this through lived experience, not through thinking. Let me give you a concrete example. Let's say you have a pattern of people-pleasing. You say yes when you mean no. You overextend yourself. You're terrified of disappointing people. Why? Usually because at some point, probably in childhood, you learned that other people's anger or disappointment was dangerous. Maybe a parent withdrew love when you didn't comply. Maybe you got yelled at. Maybe you were ignored. Whatever happened, your nervous system learned this equation. My needs equal other people's anger, which equals danger. So now, as an adult, every time you even think about saying no, your body floods with anxiety. Your nervous system is pulling up that old file. It's saying if you say no, you'll be abandoned. You'll be unsafe. And so you say yes. Again, even though you're exhausted, even though you don't want to, because to your nervous system, saying yes feels safer than risking rejection. Here's how you update this. You start saying no in the smallest, safest ways possible, and I mean tiny. When the barista asks if you want a receipt, you say no thanks. When someone offers you gum, you say I'm good. These are micro moments. They feel insignificant, but to your nervous system, they're everything. Because each time you say no and nothing bad happens, you're uploading new data. You're creating a new file that says saying no is safe. Nobody attacked you. Nobody abandoned you. You're still alive. You're still okay. Now here's the crucial part. You can't do this harshly. You can't white-knuckle your way through it. Because if you force yourself to say no while your whole body is screaming in panic, you're just re-traumatizing yourself. You're reinforcing the idea that saying no is terrifying. Instead, you have to find the edge, the place where it's uncomfortable but not unbearable. Where you feel the stretch but you're not snapping. This is where the magic happens. This is where your nervous system can actually learn. Think of it like physical therapy. If you tear your ACL, you don't go straight back to running marathons. You start with tiny movements. You rebuild strength slowly. You respect where your body is at. Same with your nervous system. If you have deep wounding around visibility, you don't start by posting vulnerable content to 10,000 followers. You start by sharing one honest sentence with one safe friend. You let your body feel what it's like to be seen and still be safe. Then you do it again and again, until being visible stops triggering alarm bells. This is repetition. And repetition is everything, because your nervous system didn't learn to be afraid in one day. It learned through repeated experiences. And it will only unlearn through repeated experiences of safety. One good experience isn't enough. You need pattern disruption. You need your body to gather enough evidence that the old threat is gone, that you're not 12 anymore, that you're not powerless anymore, that the people in your life now are not the people who hurt you then. But here's what most people miss. While you're doing this rewiring work, you also have to talk to your body differently. You have to become the gentle parent to your own nervous system. So when you feel that panic rising, when your body is screaming danger, you don't shame it. You don't say get over it or you're being ridiculous. Instead, you say, I know this feels scary. I know you're trying to protect me. Thank you. But we're safe now. That was then. This is now. We can handle this. I know it sounds simple, maybe even silly, but your nervous system responds to tone, to gentleness, to reassurance. When you talk to yourself with compassion, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, the part that calms you down. The part that says you're safe, and over time, this becomes your new baseline. Now, let's talk about why this process gets stuck for some people. First reason is you're trying to heal in isolation, and this is huge, especially if you're a woman. The female nervous system is wired for connection. We regulate through relationship. Through being seen, heard, held. You can do all the solo healing work in the world, but if you're lonely, if you're disconnected, your nervous system will still register threat. Because to the primitive brain, being alone meant death. You needed your tribe to survive, so if you don't have people you feel safe with, people you can be real with, your body will stay in low-grade panic. This isn't weakness, this is biology. Second reason the work gets stuck is you're still in an actually unsafe environment, and I need to say this clearly. If you're in a relationship where you're walking on eggshells, if you have a boss who screams at you, if you're in a living situation where you can't relax, your nervous system is not broken. It's working perfectly. It's supposed to detect danger, and if the danger is real, no amount of breathwork will fix it. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is leave, is set boundaries, is protect yourself in tangible ways. Your nervous system can't update its programming if the threat is still active. Third reason is you're going too fast. You're trying to tackle the biggest, scariest thing first, and your nervous system just shuts down. Remember, we're looking for the edge, not the cliff. If you have a fear of public speaking, you don't book a TED Talk next week. You start by speaking up at dinner with friends. You practice in low-stakes environments. You build capacity slowly. Your nervous system needs to know it can handle 5% more before it can handle 50% more. Here's the beautiful thing, though. When you do this work correctly, when you give your nervous system new experiences gently and consistently, something shifts. Things that used to send you into panic start feeling neutral. You check your email and don't feel dread. You have a difficult conversation and don't collapse afterward. You rest without guilt. You say no without spiraling. This is what true nervous system regulation looks like, not the absence of stress, but the ability to move through stress without your body thinking it's life or death. Your body stops living in the past. It starts living in the present. And that changes everything. Because when you're not constantly bracing for disaster, you have energy for your actual life, for joy, for creativity, for connection, for all the things you've been too scared or too exhausted to reach for. So here's what I want you to take away from this. Your nervous system isn't broken, it's just outdated. It's running on old information, old threats, old stories. And you have the power to update it. Not by forcing yourself to be different, but by gently showing your body new evidence, by creating new experiences, by being patient with the process, by understanding that healing isn't linear. Some days you'll feel regulated. Some days you'll feel like you're back at square one. That's normal. That's part of the process. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. It's collecting enough moments of safety that your body starts to believe safety is possible, that your body starts to trust that you can handle what comes. That life isn't the constant threat it once was. And when that happens, when your nervous system finally updates, you get to live in the present instead of reacting to the past. You get to respond instead of react. You get to be free. Subscribe to this channel for more.